Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the district to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 23rd day of March at the hour of 6 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on March 17th, 2016 at 11:15 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Opens Meeting Act, and a copy has been furnished to the county clerk in Cameron County, Texas. Item 1, this meeting is called to order. There is a quorum. All board members are present. Notice of the meeting has been duly posted as required by law. Would everybody rise for the invocation and the pledge, please?
Heavenly Father, we thank you again for another opportunity to meet and do water district business. We just put you in charge today in all the decisions that we make, Lord. Help us make the right decisions, and we look forward to being good stewards of the water district, Lord. And help us in everything we do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is invitation to the audience for discussion. Anything?
I have something to mention that we did have
audience.
The memorial for Miss Lupe Salinas last week. So it's nice paper. I think we came out in the paper last week. So family was happy.
The roses look very nice out there. Very nice. She would like that.
We'll keep maintaining beautification there.
All right.
And one more thing is that these things came out late, before the agenda was posted. So that's why I'm bringing them up. The A license from Omar Kempy from the wastewater plant. So we acquired it.
Good job.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, very good. Let's move on to item 4. Consider and approve the minutes for the workshop meeting and the regular meeting of February 24th. Yes, sir.
I thought someone else wanted to stand up under the public forum.
I'm sorry, did I miss someone? Invitation to the audience for discussion? I don't see anyone. Sorry. Let's move on to item 4. Consider and approve minutes for the workshop meeting and the regular meeting of February 24th, 2016.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells.
Second.
Second by Mr. Friedman. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, General Manager's Report. Mr. Galvan.
Sir, I wanted to bring up a question that Mr. Friedman had asked about the TERS that the board had approved 2011. It was actually nullified because the county didn't agree to going in with South Padre Island. And again, we found out that that our tax increments are for DEP only, so we can't get involved with that. But it was nullified back then.
So that was nullified. Then what is the tiers that Port Isabel has currently? Is the water district involved in that tiers or not?
I heard.
Because there's tiers with Port Isabel currently also.
Right. I did see on the paper that they needed a signature from Laguna Madre Water District, but I haven't heard anything from them.
We're on the agenda this next meeting over there.
We're going to don't sign it.
About how we can't do it. We're on their agenda for the next
okay,
meeting.
how
We're
we
not
can't,
participating.
okay.
We're not
But they
participating.
haven't called the district at all. I think
Right.
they're just finding out by our meetings that we have
Okay,
here.
so we're currently not involved in anything, okay.
No, we're off the hook.
Okay.
And Darla Jones finally sent me an email that that we're okay,
Okay.
no problem.
All right.
The next one that I have here is South Padre Island Golf Course Agreement. Finally signed it and sent the copies to us, so no problem, no questions. So we're okay with that one too.
Good. Very good. All right, any other questions, comments for the General Manager? Let's move on to item 6, District Engineers Report. Mr. Ortiz.
Right. Yeah, the first time I have on here is the Clean Water State Revolving Fund financial application, and this is the financial application for the Port Isabel Sewer Plant. And so I guess there's maybe two parts to this, to where for the 2017 fiscal year, the annual project information form was submitted March 3rd. And when I did that project, I reviewed the disadvantage status for the Port Isabel plant. and also the green component. And it turns out that, you know, when we look at our project area just being Port Isabel, we do apply for a 30% disadvantage status, where if we do get disadvantage funds, 30% would be loan forgivable on that project.
Great.
And so that's something entirely in addition to being a green project, which is what we had submitted. And so that's something that would be not until next fiscal year cycle. We'll have a draft intended use plan coming out in June to see if we even make that funding line. But at the same time, we did submit the financial application for the current invitation we got back in November. And so water development board's reviewing it as we speak. And the only comment that came up was our water conservation plan, which we're supposed to renew every 5 years. And so the cover page says 2009, even though we had done an amendment in 2012.
Great.
And so I had referenced that in minutes from the 2012 amendment that we had done on the water conservation plan. And so I haven't heard any response from them since. So far, you know, so good. We're you know, I gotta see if since they do have green money available for this fiscal year, we gotta see if we're gonna be able, you know, if we're gonna, the next one in line, since it was first come, first served, we already submitted, so we're the next one they're reviewing right now, so we'll see how it all works out.
Sure.
That's where the application is right now. And, so the next one is the Port Isabel wastewater treatment plan design, permits, and easement status. And as far as the design, I mean, they just, Corolla just sent us, you know, their design memorandum, which is basically kind of a bound book of all their basis for the design, just so we have a clear understanding of what the improvements are and how they came about, or why we're doing them. And so we're looking at the final design being finished about July 31st, so we're going to be a final set, you know, ready for bids, basically. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll probably see a final submit, or an interim submittal at the end of the month, just to see where their design's at, but I mean, we're looking at completing design, you know, July 31st. And so for the permits, yes, there's the TCQ permit for the major amendment, and on that one, we already got it declared administratively complete, so we're in the technical review for our major amendment, and then the other major permit is through the Army Corps of Engineers. And so it turns out there's two parts to that, where one of them's the regulatory permit here in Corpus Christi, and so that we're probably a week or two from being done with a regulatory division, but we also have to go through the real estate division in Galveston, which could be another 6 months. So I mean, but basically, I'm in the process of preparing the application to real estate, but they can't take action until regulatory is complete. So that's where we're standing with the core permit.
Sure.
And then as far as easements,
We'll discuss that in executive session.
Okay.
That's what's going on there. The next item is the Lower Rio Grande Regional Facility Plan public meeting. We had a public meeting on March 9th, and so this is the handouts that I believe was included in your packet, just so you can see sort of what they're trying to put together, you know. And it's a study that included Cameron, Williston, Hidalgo. So it's just kind of the general projects from a regional approach that you know, that we can choose to participate in. There is one issue with funding though, because they are short about $13,000 to be able to finish out the study. And so kind of one of the items for discussion is if we want to help close that gap by adding any additional contribution. So on your attachment, yeah, item number 6, the attachment I have on here is that regional facility plan, and then this other one is kind of a breakdown of the, yeah, we scroll back to the next page. Or, yeah, just one more. Yeah, just we go one more page.
One more.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if we can read it, but basically on that detail, I mean, those are all the various participants that have contributed at this point. So we basically contributed $3,000 back on December 2014, and they're still about, you know, 13,000 short to be able to finish out the study. And this is the local match, so for this 13,000, TWDB would pay another 13,000 on top of whatever's contributed here. So, I mean, there's probably about 4 or 5 entities that are actively involved where they probably, you know, give some additional contribution. So I don't know if there's an amount we want to consider, or if we want to consider any additional contribution to help this study get finished out. But that's kind of one of the items that's up for discussion right now.
I see a lot of cities are not even included in there. They haven't contributed anything. I don't see Harlingen there at all. Don't see La Feria there at all.
Yeah, so it's all voluntary. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, is that something that we're interested in contributing to help close that gap? or would there be any amounts to discuss at this point?
So what's the advantage to it?
We come up with a reason, it's just a
I'm trying
reason.
to figure out what they're
It's a
gonna
reasonable thing.
accomplish.
It's great on paper.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll come up, on, item number 6 later.
So there's an action item on it? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Did you bring it?
What are they gonna do with a quarter
No, I mean, I just
million
had this on
dollars?
discussion, there's not a specific request, I was just bringing the funding issues to your attention as far as to finish out that study. I mean, maybe we can follow up at the next meeting if we choose. I mean, the other, I don't know, maybe if there's one thing to point out, is they do have an aquifer storage and recovery in one of their plans, even though it's based over in Hidalgo. And, you know how when we were trying to think about it for our location, we wanted to see some places where they already have it in place. And a good example is actually Marco Island in Florida, where it's been in place over there for about 18 years, where they do aquifer storage recovery there to meet their treatment needs.
Mhm.
And, I mean, their aquifer is at a depth of around 750, 775 feet. And so, I mean, just from the preliminary work that the groundwater hydrologists have done, I mean, they haven't seen any major barriers to really show South Padre Island not being a feasible location to consider ASR. So it's just one of those items that, you know, I mean, if we want to continue it further, I don't know if you haven't had a chance to see.
It would make you look good and put you in front of the Texas Water Development Board, and it would help for some grant and some consideration.
Right.
It'd put you out in front, it'd make you look good, it gets you on the top of some of the political, I mean, that's the good part of it, but.
Form of
You're talking about
bribery
the
we got
contribution.
going
Yes,
on.
the contribution to participate.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. Yeah, so I mean, you know, I think just talking to Carlos, we were thinking maybe $1,000 or something, just as a starting point. And then just rely on other entities to help close that gap.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I think that would be
Yeah.
sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of divided the rest of the cities there and came up with
That'd
$1,000.
be a fair number. Definitely would give you some brownie points throughout the community and the regional plan and state officials and.
State official.
All right.
All right.
I mean, should that be a formal action that we take?
Well, it's gonna have to be.
It's a discussion.
Well, no.
We're gonna have to, but
It's
maybe,
discussion right now, but.
Yeah,
It's not an action item.
No, not today.
Right, we'll bring it up at the next meeting.
We'll bring it up on the next meeting, because we need to get it approved by the board.
It's under 5,000, I don't know how that would work, so.
I'd rather have it for
Okay,
you guys.
not a problem. All right.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, I guess I'm still going on, but my last engineer's report item is just an update for construction at water plants 1 and 2. For water plant 1, we did complete the controls upgrade for Filter Magic, so all that's in place. And, there's just some issues on the alarms that we're gonna coordinate, and just some minor, like one, we wanna add something so they can do a remote login, whenever we have to troubleshoot out there. So there's just some minor follow-up items that we need to address out at water plant 1. And with water plant 2, the chlorine dioxide generator's in place, all the bulk storage tanks are connected, I mean, that's working fantastic, it's a lot more steady. I don't know if you wanna give any update for what we've done with the filter, water plants 1 and 2, as far as the controls, or?
Well, water plant 1, the filter controls are, to me, on my end, it's great. It's working awesome. It helps automate, makes the job easier, and it actually does, clean the filters, helps with cleaning the filters, the way they're supposed to clean. So, it's working great. And then water plant 2, the chlorine dioxide generator is working, well. The guys like it, and it's giving us the consistency that we were lacking with the other machine. So, it's been working good. The bulk tanks are tied in. We have enough storage the storage that we're supposed to have. So, for the most part, everything's good.
Oh, yeah, we also upgraded the island pump.
Get up and talk a little bit louder, I can't hear you. I hear about half what you're saying. Why don't you stand up and talk a little bit louder? Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
No, I'm just saying that the chlorine dioxide generator has been working well. Gives us the consistency that we were looking for, that we lacked with the other machine. And, like Charles said, that the bulk tanks are connected. They're all in play now. And he also mentioned the island pump, which is giving us, room to grow. If we go to 8 MGD, we'll have what we need to get what we need.
Okay. We're getting it put together then.
It's good.
Yeah, water's looking pretty good, so.
Good
you know,
news.
yeah.
Nice to have good news.
Yeah. But yeah, that wraps up the engineer's report, was the last item on there.
All right, anything else for Mr. Charles? Questions, comments?
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Let's move on to item 7, Director of Operations report, Mr. Valdez.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I added a couple of pictures on the slide, just so you can see the roof over at the warehouse. Art and his mechanics have been working on the northeast and southeast side of the building.
Getting some of the banding in place. Right.
Straps are on.
Yeah. And we're still working on the other side. In between the trucks that they gotta fix and everything, they're doing that, so we're keeping busy fixing it up there. And I also added the clarifier from Isla Blanca.
All right,
It's
you got it
finished.
going?
It's right before spring break it was on, and it's been working. We've got it full of water right now. Those pictures I took before, so it's not full of water, but it's been working. It ran all through spring break, no problems. We got everything going on there. And then also, I did take some other ones, but I didn't have a chance to put them on here with the water inside. But it's just so you can see that it is done and it is working. And then for the month of February, we had 34 meters tested. We had 7 of them swapped, and then we had 6 water taps and 3 sewer taps that had come in for the month of February. And then also we did get the jet truck came in also right before spring break it came in. So it was out there working all during spring break, and it's been working fine.
Joey's there.
Hey, there are no problems with it.
No, that's pretty good.
So
Shouldn't be any problems with it. Brand new, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have for now.
Any questions?
Anything on the river?
The divers?
We did get the results from the river pump, from the diver. Everything came out good. There's a question on about if there's any sediment on there. It says yes, the amount that there is between 8 to 12 inches. And it's, the depth of the river there where we're getting the water is 10 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 to 12 inches is not really, and there was nothing else in there. They showed some pictures, and they also wrote it on there. They only had like floating leaves and twigs, not anything big, any big old stones or anything coming out. So it's clean.
Good. I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
That's very good, thank you. Any questions, comments? Thank you, Victor. Let's move on to item 8. This is consider and discuss only contract for investing services. Tawana?
Yes, sir. I would like to recommend the investing services from Valley View Consulting, and I was looking at the current rates that we have, and so far we have gotten like around 8,000 on 2 quarters, and basically we have not done much movement into the 17 bank accounts that we have. So I believe if we have someone that can help us with that part of the task, which is handling units, we can get more money coming in that is gonna produce way more revenue than the 10,000 that we can pay them, for a whole year. And also they could help us with other processes like the depository agreement. Right now it's kind of like very struggling, I guess, in the accounting and finance area, and that help. I think that it can bring some extra revenue.
We've currently had an investment contract already, right, with
Strata
Hinojosa, right?
No, that's financial advising.
dropped it.
That's not investing.
So we've never had an investing service.
We used to have
an additional one with them, and I didn't see any help from them before.
Well, remember that, like, for example, last year, during the first 6 months, we got around 4,000, Now, in the first 6 months, we got around 8,000, and that's basically just working on $1 million. But we do have more coming in, money coming in. For example, hopefully, you know, the grant will work, but also we have the emergency money. We also have some of the operating money, and I believe that they can work with some of the accounts that we have. They can put it like a revolving funding for the 2012, for example. We have 5 million that they're just sitting there kind of like waiting for those projects, but they can be kind of like looking into the text pool, and that's something that I don't have the time to do it. Mr. Galvan doesn't have the time to do it, and I think that if you like, I mean, I would like to have Ms. Anderson, you know, talking a little bit, explain more, I guess, about this matter.
Questions, comments? Do you have anything to add, ma'am?
I can explain services.
Sure, come on up to the microphone and introduce yourself, and that way you'll be on record.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, board members. My name is Susan Anderson. I'm with Valley View Consulting. As San Juana mentioned, our contract actually includes an array of services. First, we would help with the solicitation for your bank depository. You have to go out periodically to get a bank. That's a very time-consuming task. So we execute that entire process, take it through determination of what services you need at your bank, develop the RFP, then we go out and solicit to the banks. We get all of the responses back, analyze, and work with staff to figure out which is the best opportunity for you. So we do all of that in the first year and then continue to do that on an ongoing basis as you need to have it done. The second thing we do is we help you with your cash flows. As San Juana mentioned, one of the most critical parts of the investment advisory is to look at your cash flows and develop what are your cash flow needs over a year. We go back and look through history for about 3 to 5 years to see how you've used your cash and then figure out how to ladder your investments. By laddering your investments, we can go out and get higher rates of return. We are a non-discretionary investment advisor, and what that means is we can recommend, we can execute upon the approval of staff. So we can't go out there, take your money, and just execute. I can tell you that right now, I looked at your reports for December. You were earning about 25, a little over 25 basis points in your overnight account. We have accounts that have been offered to us by banks at 35 to 55 for overnight funds. And then beyond that, after looking at your cash flows, we can develop that ladder where we can get enhanced rates of return for going out on the yield curve. An additional service that we provide is on a monthly basis. We provide staff with all the monthly accounting reports that they need. So once you set up your investments, there's ongoing accounting responsibilities. Our reporting system will provide the packet for that. And then the quarterly report that would come to you would be prepared by us as well.
The fee is strictly an annual fee, is that correct?
It isn't. Well, it's proposed in two manners. We're saying 10 basis points, which is 0.1%,
Right.
or there's $15,000 the first year to include that bank depository, and then ongoing years after that is $10,000 forever.
Plus the basis point.
No, it's
Either or.
It's either or. It's
Whichever.
a minimum of 10,000 or 10 basis points. So right now you have about 16 million, and I understand you're getting in some bond proceeds. That would be a little bit higher, obviously, than the minimum, but it's 10 basis points or a minimum of 15 the first year and 10.
You're going to give us monthly and quarterly reports for this $10,000, $15,000?
Yes, absolutely.
Any questions, comments? Anything else?
Something to think about.
You have it till item 9, did we not do? Oh, we got an action item.
Yeah, it's action after this, so.
Okay.
Must have missed the action item.
Item 9.
Okay, well, give me 5 minutes to think about it.
Mr. Galvan, what do you think?
Well, I know that they worked with the district in 2006 through 2010, and I believe it was through Estrada Hinojosa. So I don't know exactly what they did at that time, but I know they assisted in the same, that she mentioned. I think if it's gonna work out that, they produce enough funds to pay themselves, I mean,
I have a question. Mr. Thomas, you have a question? Go ahead.
No.
Based on what you guys saw of our investments right now, do you see where we might have other conservative investments where we would be yielding more?
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, we contact banks all over Texas. When we're out doing solicitations for CDs, as an example,
Correct.
we probably have about 30 banks that we're dealing with on an ongoing basis, and then we also deal with your local banks. Many of those banks offer money market accounts. A money market account is an overnight. You can only withdraw once or 6 times each month, but that's more than most people would need.
Right.
We've got one bank right now in the Fort Worth area that pays 35 basis points. So it's 10 basis points better than your bank. We have another bank that pays 55 basis points out of Dallas. So either one of those options, and keeping everything completely liquid, would
Right.
gain, 10 to 20 basis points. Also, if you ladder out, we're seeing CDs for 6 months at about 40 basis points. We're seeing CDs for a year at about 60 to 72 basis points today. So conservatively building that ladder based on your cash flows should tremendously enhance your program. Now, I will tell you that, again, we're non-discretionary. We can develop the plan, but we have to have the go-ahead to execute. And I think way back when we were here, you were having some staff turnover, and it was a little bit difficult to get that to happen.
Yes.
But I think you've got staff on board now that's ready to move ahead.
Remember we went out for CDs the last time? What did we get? What did we end up getting?
What was that is?
0.44.
0.84.
And remember that,
Point what?
0.44, yes.
Point
Uh-huh.
0.04.
We're getting 0.8 now.
So you're talking about
6 to 8 is what you're seeing.
60 to 72 basis points, right now. And I anticipate that they're going to be going up.
1.67 of 1%. Okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to say 67.
I know.
7% of our money.
No,
Well,
0.67.
this is personal investing.
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even 1%.
I
No.
realize that,
No.
yes.
It's pretty
Number
dismal
sounds
times
funny
right
if
now.
you don't put the decimal point in the right place.
Huh?
They loaned it out at 6%.
They'll loan it out at 6, yeah.
And I basically believe that they can, get over the amount that we already will be paying them pretty much. And basically this year, we have already exceeded the revenue because the interest rate went a little bit up. But, they could do more because they do have the time, to do the checking. I don't know if you recall last time, that we were checking several,
Yeah.
and we have to determine if it's a broker, if the investing policy for governmental, needs to be followed through. And that's a warranty, that someone, will be taking the time, to do all this process. It takes time.
And all this is gonna happen with FDIC money, through banks, I mean, it's not anything.
Yeah, because we cannot do brokers
Right.
or anything like that.
The
It's
term
all
of the
complete.
contract is yearly, this is.
That's
a
what I was
yearly
gonna ask
deal?
too.
Yes.
Yearly, so
Yes.
a year up the road, we said, didn't make it.
Exactly.
We're all
Right.
working together.
And you have a 30-day out, too, in any contract.
Oh, okay. Mr. Lucio, do you take a look at the contract?
I will. But who's gonna pull the trigger to shoot the investments? I mean, you're gonna present them to San Juana, and then we're going to have a board discussion to
definitely.
make those transactions,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Like the way we did the CDs,
Okay.
we'll present you what is it that
I
is
just wanted to be clear
available,
on that.
the
Yep.
3 quotes and all of that.
There's one thing that I think we need to have before I'm comfortable, is our council needs to go through all of our contracts before we approve anything, and I would like him to review it, and maybe at the next meeting, we can go ahead and look at it. You haven't reviewed it yet?
No, we just got this one.
Okay.
Good.
So he hadn't reviewed it
We
yet?
have time, we have time to
Was it this one?
Yes, and the last one.
We under number 9 yet?
No, sir, we're still on 8, we're still discussing.
No, I mean, I believe.
It's okay, we'll send him one, we
It's
have
okay.
time.
She says that
Yeah.
I've responded that I approve this one, but
Because it was
I
for
can't
the
remember.
previous meeting.
I can't remember. I
It
may
was,
have.
it was for the, it was on the agenda for the last
I'm
meeting.
sorry.
Okay.
If I sent the email and approved it,
Yeah,
if she
just
has
say
it, then
that
I.
it's fine.
We're good, all right, we're good to go then.
So we are good to go.
All right,
I didn't know it was the same one.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for catching that.
all right, thank you, ma'am.
I have 2 young kids that drive me
Well,
semi
mine is
crazy.
$15,000 for advice.
All right, let's move on to item 9, consider and approve contract for investing services. Gentlemen, we discussed it under item 8, get a motion to approve.
Is it 10 or 15?
15 the first year.
15 the first year.
Minimum of 15 or
1 point.
1 point, but 1 basis point.
It's gonna be closer to
Read your
16
homework,
probably.
Rick.
It's probably gonna be closer to 16.
Do what?
Read your homework.
All right.
Well, I mean, since they've done business with us before in the past, and, Carlos is comfortable
Through
with it.
Estrada and
I'll make a motion to
Hinojosa.
approve it.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Cantu,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Friedman. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll try it.
All right, opposed?
I'm on the fence on this one, I
Alright.
tell you.
All right, so motion carries. All right, item 10, consider and discuss proposal for fiscal year 2015-2016 budget amendment number 1.
Okay.
Well, have you all read, I'll go with this on one to start. Mr. Cantu and I, we met the week before spring break, is that right?
That's correct.
We went through the budget amendment number 1. The revenues that we anticipate extra, some of those are based on the rate increase that we just that went into place, is already in effect, correct?
Correct.
We're anticipating some other extra revenue based on what we're seeing as far as sales goes, in addition, and I saw that it was very conservative. We might end up with a little more money at the end of the year, but as far as this budget amendment, I thought it was conservative. On the expense side, expenditure side, we went through that also. It was myself and Mr. Cantu and San Juana, Mr. Galvan, and I think the engineer and right, Charlie, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Victor, the director of operations, were all there, and it looks like we all kind of agreed upon what was needed for the district, so on the expenditure side. I feel comfortable with it. You feel comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable, but I'd like to know other board members too, see what they feel.
Right.
See their reflection.
I just wanted to put my 1 cent in. I'm not worth 2
We
cents.
did request a quote for the pickups, and he has a good number on them, on the 4 and the 4 regular pickups and the what was the other one, utility truck.
Scissor truck?
What's that again?
The scissor truck?
The
The boom truck?
No, this is the regular pickups for.
Oh, okay, the regulars, and the utility truck? Was it
We came out at like 5,000 on each truck, less.
under?
Yeah.
That's what we're figuring.
How many trucks we got?
5?
Question.
These are purchased.
No, I mean total truck,
total?
total truck.
Total trucks, Mario, they bought total.
These are purchased, not leased.
These were
How many?
purchased, straight purchase, we got
Five.
$5,000
Including all the
I don't
dump trucks?
We need,
Yeah.
How many pickup trucks have we got?
They're bad.
I've seen some really high ones lately.
Yeah, these are bad.
30 pickup trucks.
How many men have we got working in the field? 30?
They about,
Are we gonna trade the old ones in or sell them?
We're gonna have to sell them. We're gonna have to salvage them, sell them out.
What are they
We're
gonna
just
do with
sell
the
them out.
15 passenger van?
He's got,
I've seen some.
He's got book value on it, which,
Uh-huh.
Carlos does, and that's what they wanna try to sell.
I believe there's like about at least
Seen some bad
30 out in the field starting from the water plant, the laboratory, the wastewater plants, because they travel back and forth, pick up samples. Then the field crews, distribution and collection, and the lift station, everybody's out there.
Everybody's out. So
Right.
it's more than 30 people, no?
The big one's that boom truck.
Hope it's more than 30 people.
Yeah.
Altogether, with the outside employees, about 60 altogether. Because, we're about, I think it's 74.
75
for the
staff
whole-
total.
for the whole-
How many are in the
That is
office?
district, and there we have, I think it's like 14 in here, altogether, I think.
Good.
So about 60 that are outside.
We do have, 2 pickups here in the office, and we're gonna give one out, the one that's needed the most. Whoever doesn't get one of the new ones, if y'all do approve it, we plan to utilize them, not be parked.
And y'all worked out something with, as far as the finance department being able to use one of those vehicles when they need to go to the post office
We're still
and
trying to find out which
everything?
one they like.
Give them the Hemi, they can get there quicker.
I don't think we need it.
Actually,
We
the
never
bill,
use it, do
clerk
we?
said that she rather to keep, the van. She likes the van. She tried the truck and it doesn't
So
fit
the-
all the boxes that she needs to put in there.
When they send the bills out, there's
Uh-huh.
like 6 boxes or 6.
Yeah.
That have all the bills in there, they take them to the post office. But,
So we're gonna use.
but we're still gonna get
What's
rid
the
of
line?
one pickup to the cruise office.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments or any other discussion on the
Well, the
discussion?
boom truck's the biggie, is that one in bad shape?
Yes,
Oh.
Stacy, if you wanna put
Yeah,
that.
they're gonna get it for
I mean, that's half of it.
They're gonna get it for 180.
Uh-huh.
With that lease deal, it was gonna be 300. I said, no way, man. Let's just
So
buy it
you think,
outright.
so you think we need to do this?
I think we ought to buy them
You
all
guys all
new
think we
Cadillac,
need to do
put
it?
pipe racks on the roof.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm all about saving money, but also, I mean, you gotta take the liability.
Yeah.
These trucks are out there bad.
There's no Hemis and no Denali's, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
They are pretty old, look at these.
No?
things.
All right.
They're old.
I don't know why they didn't go buy two pictures.
Cadillac.
There's pictures in there.
I know, I like
Pipe
that.
rack.
Yeah, there's pictures in there.
I
They're
had
in rough
window-
shape, man.
I had window
Nice
mom and
Cadillac
dad
pickup
spot
makes a
with
nice
it.
Cadillac
Take
now.
out the picture.
All right.
Now, my only, I guess, final, say-so, I guess, on this is that, like I mentioned before, you know, like, for example, if we do the purchase, which is, I think that the district has been, I guess, used to do the purchasing, this year, we could go up to the 450, but at the same time, you know, if we were able to get all the assets that we need for this year, you know, including the generators, we could probably use some financing, but I don't know what you all think about that. I know that we discussed it, and you mentioned that basically because we also want to keep it conservative, making sure that we're not sure, you know, how the next year is going to look like. And sometimes it's not so good, you know, to kind of like get commitments ahead of time. But in this time, you know, I believe that it will be the generators or the vehicles. We have to make sure, you know, that we choose wisely, because this is going to be everything that we're going to have available for this fiscal year. So it's, I guess, I don't know, I think that if you look into that second page where we have the capital budget proposal, we have it up to 10, item 10, pretty much covered, but we are leaving outside of the equation pretty much the last 3 items that it says for consideration. So, and if you look at those 3 items, I mean, those are generators.
So she's saying either or?
Well, see, these are left out.
Yes.
The ones on the bottom are in light blue.
Are not included in the
Those are,
budget.
those are not included
Correct.
in the budget proposal, the budget
Right.
amendment, I'm
We
sorry.
couldn't, yes.
They're not included right now.
But we could move any items back and forth, you know, like you tell me, like, instead of this one, move another one, or that would be pretty much, your decision to make right there.
Yes, sir. Alright,
No.
Remember, gentlemen, we signed up for that service that if we cut power, we get paid for it? Y'all
Correct.
remember that?
Correct.
Alright, well, our wastewater plants don't qualify because our generators are sold. So we don't qualify for that, is that correct?
Right, that's correct.
Mr. Gavon?
The tiers on them, on the exhaust are under 1, and actually they're looking for a 4 or above. So that's old exhaust system that I don't think we can improve unless we purchase new one. And they've been having problems with the electricals. We need to upgrade the electrical components to the generator.
These generators really need to be replaced then.
They do.
They're from
And the vehicles too,
1994.
because
And the
it's a
vehicles
safety
too.
issue.
Right. But,
Can we move on?
So what do we do, flip a coin or what here?
well, we can always come back next.
We could always
October.
wait, see how the money's coming at the, you know, in a couple of months, and if we see we're over budget, we'll make another budget,
that
we'll
would
make
be
another budget
exactly.
amendment.
Make another
Yes.
budget amendment.
Yeah.
That's excellent, because
And
that way
I'm
we
in
can
favor
at
of
least
adding
keep the money, make
1 or
sure
2
that we do
generators. I have no
a good
problems.
movement right
We
there.
can phase in the generators too. We don't have to.
Let's wait for the next budget amendment for
Yes,
that.
we can.
Okay.
And what I just wanted to say is recommend the top from, 1
through
to
11?
11, right.
Yes,
I
and
know-
then, 12, 13, I think, or 13, I think we can phase one in this year, and we can phase one in next year.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Personally, I think there's enough room to, you'll be able to get through it at the rate we're going. I think the money's coming in, you'll be able to at least do 12, 13, and 15 on the next budget amendment
Yes,
cycle.
and also we're working with,
12,
the
13,
manager,
15.
so hopefully we can do some cost savings. And,
Yes.
you know, we already budgeted certain amounts, but I'm still positive that we can still stretch something right there. I mean, we're gonna do whatever, the best we can.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Samana.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Let's move on to item 11, is consider and approve the fiscal year 2015-2016 budget amendment number 1. Get a motion, please.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Friedman. Second by Mr. Cantu.
And what are we doing here now, splitting these up, Jeff? or what?
We're just
No.
gonna go to here,
We're approving 1 through 12.
1 through 11.
1 through 11.
and we're gonna,
Next budget cycle.
next budget amendment, we'll go ahead and see if we can get 1 generator in it later in the year.
And you're going over this and we leave
Oh,
it
yeah.
out.
We have a motion by Mr. Friedman. Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We have 1 opposed. Motion carries. Item 12, consider and approve resolution number 133-03-16, adopting the budget amendment number 1, amending the budget for the fiscal year 2015-2016 of the Laguna Madre Water District, updating all revenues and expenditures. We have a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Friedman.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Me.
1 opposed. Motion carries.
You should have moved.
Item 13, consider and approve entering in a letter of intent with ABM Building and Energy Solutions for an investment grade audit. Gentlemen.
Okay, we'll have Mr. Donovan.
Tavo.
How you doing?
Uh-oh, we're surrounded,
Turn the air
huh?
conditioner up just a little
Okay.
bit.
Very
Freezing.
It's a little cold, guys. It's a little cold, man. I didn't want to be the only one to say it.
Yes.
cold?
Make sure you can Thank see you. it. Thank you.
Weren't you guys here before?
Well, that's not fair.
That's what I thought, man. Yeah. Okay, good.
Very nice.
System, I've read through this thing, I don't have
For a whole new level.
clue, Martine.
Well, next they're gonna be giving the goggles where we can see it
Yeah.
in 3D, or, yeah.
We have to make this blister, it's cold.
Thank you, sir. I don't have to do do anything, it's all gonna, oh, okay.
Kinda come along a little bit, we're
Okay.
ahead of it, yeah.
I thought when he does it, it's gonna do these too.
We've tried that.
It can, but there's, it's a little risky.
Okay, all right.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, you don't give me one of them
You can,
things.
you can look.
Just a look.
You can look at it and swipe along if you want, if not, we'll have it up on the board, whatever's easier for you.
See what you can do.
Oh, I don't have 13 either.
Alright, so I can't control the iPad. There is technology, but it's contingent upon Wi-Fi, and it's not always, it's just iffy. So, just swipe to your left, and you'll see you'll be matching up with what's on the screen here. The last time we were here, we were talking to you guys about how we can utilize legislation to make needed infrastructure improvements, with a focus on AMI and water meters. So let's get that squared away. But we also mentioned there's other things that we can address. Was item 12, so item 11, you guys are talking about these generators. The state law allows you to put in items like that into our program. So I know you want to phase them in, but contingent upon what an investment grade audit would uncover, we could potentially build that into our guaranteed program. So that could be a way we can help out there as well. So just real quick of who we are, just so everyone knows we're not a fly-by-night. We've been around since 1909, close to 13,000 employees here in Texas, and we do everything from utility projects to solar fields, to doing maintenance and janitorial work in facilities. We self-perform almost everything we do. And what we're talking to you guys about was the smart utilities, how we can help automate you guys and give you guys real-time analytics today to help you guys better manage your utility. This is a generic slide, but it's representative of most utilities. You got a lot of demand, decreased revenues, they never line up. And so we want to fill that gap. And without that gap, we couldn't deploy the legislation, right? And that's in your top right corner, if you're looking on here. It's the 302.001. That states that a government entity can move forward with a energy enhancement, utility enhancement project, as long as the ESCO, that would be us, ABM, guarantees that you will achieve the financial benefits on an annual basis. If those benefits are not achieved, we literally have to cut the utility a check for the difference. So we just don't want to come in here and do a project and get out of here. We look at this as a really good marriage. So some of the things we'll look at here.
How many times you been married?
One time.
Hmm.
That I was married one time.
Oh, he was.
This is on record now, great. So what we're going to look at is the water meters first. Let's take a look at the water meters. Let's see if we can automate those and give you guys a real-time analytics. Let's look at distribution automation, right? Another way of identifying your usage of resources in real time. LED lighting, it's a layup. It's an easy way to conserve energy. Your utility costs are around $750,000 a year. Your biggest users of energy would be your wastewater treatment plants. So we would take a look at that also to see what we can do to help out there. I went to all 4 of your plants. I took pictures. We'll go through them real fast. There's a lot of slides, but we're not going to spend too much time on them. But you guys are replacing these blowers right now. They're expensive, right? I mean, they're being replaced. Well, what if we can help replace some of them with our program? That's no longer a capital cost for you. Items, was it 12 through 15? What if we can help out with the generators? And what you guys are talking about with the utility is called load shedding. So you're not getting the benefits of load shedding right now.
Right.
Well, we look at every aspect of utility enhancement, energy enhancement with our project. Well, we can get you guys load shedding again. So there's another benefit that I didn't even know about until right now. So this is beautiful. It's great. So hopefully we can help out there as well. Here's some survey pictures. I mean, you guys probably know this stuff better than I do. These things are big. They use a lot of energy. The empty space is one where you're replacing one right now. I mean, we're by the ocean. It's corrosive. So all your little pumps and motors outside are getting beat up by the weather. Andy Bowie. This one's pretty cool. Hold on. This is actually a video. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but hold on a second. Can you guys hear that?
Ooh, sounded good.
So that's air, right?
That's not good for it.
So you got a motor blowing, right? And then air's coming out. And it's tough to maintain this. I mean, you guys got a big job to do, your staff does. Well, we can help do these little cosmetic things as well to help out with the utilities. So therefore, if air's going out of there, we stop the air. Therefore, the blowers are blowing less, therefore using less energy. I mean, it's just a domino effect. And so these are some of the things that we will look at during our investment grade audit to see how we can assist you. This one, man, this was loud.
You said we don't qualify, Jeff, did you? Did I hear you say we don't qualify for investment?
For the load thing, because of our wastewater plant generators. We don't qualify for that load shut-off money.
Yeah, for the environmental emissions, like they don't meet the emissions requirement on those generators.
But our water plants qualify? Or is it, are they taking it as a whole?
For the new water plant generator?
That load shut-off, I'm sorry, guys, sorry.
No, that's close. That's cool.
Crazy.
Water plant number 2 does qualify. Water plant number 1 is kinda, it's okay because it's working good, but, yeah.
Okay.
Still good.
Okay.
Now we'll get into how we're gonna fund this. And this is based upon some very conservative assumptions based upon what we surveyed, the data I received from the utility. And so up top right now, if you're on the same thing as I'm at up here, Whitey's cut, he's cheating. He's moving ahead. So what you're gonna see though is go year 1, right? The blue on that first column that goes across is your benefit, the green is your cost. You're gonna see that the benefit is always gonna be greater than the cost. And these are conservative figures, and what our IGA would do is solidify these. And once that's done and validated by a third-party engineer, it has to be guaranteed. So we have to sign off on it. If we do our investment grade audit and determine that we can't take on the risk because there's not enough loss to capitalize on, we don't want to write a guarantee. So there's definitely some quid pro quo here. And that's the only Latin I know I won't use anymore because I don't have any more. But the point is we're looking at every year, we do the project in year 1 all done up front. And every year after that, we're working with you hand in hand to ensure you're meeting your savings. Part of the process.
So this total cost in green is we have to commit $477,000 every year, correct?
No.
What we're doing is looking at, that's what your loss is right now. So we're identifying your loss, and we're guaranteeing that you're not gonna have that loss anymore. It's kinda like having an old car that gets 2 miles per gallon, and we give you a new car with 35 miles per gallon. We're gonna make sure you're getting that 33 additional miles per gallon to pay for it.
All right, so in that first year to receive that total benefit of what, $491, what do we have to spend?
We're looking to the top right corner is the assumptive project cost. On the high side, you're looking at $5.5 million.
Chump change, Jeff, chump.
Well, what that represents is
I don't
money
see
that's
the
already
5.5
being
million.
spent. So if you look at it this way, if you're $750,000 in energy costs, we can probably look at 30% of that is already waste, right? And you're just sending that to the utility company. We're gonna redirect it and not send that to the utility company. We're gonna send it back to Laguna Madre Water Utility. That's what we're gonna do with it. So don't give it to the utility, let's reinvest it back into here. We have to guarantee that. And then on the water side, we have to assess the losses that you're experiencing in the water. And then from there, we have to guarantee the efficiencies.
Now, what about on rehabilitation needs that aren't directly tied to energy efficiency? Would those get addressed in this project, or that's an totally additional cost beyond this?
Actually, it was 2 Thursdays ago. We were at a council meeting in the Austin area, and a city approved to move forward with us for an investment grade audit also. And before we got up there were little kids going up talking to them, brave, 8-year-old kids, talking to the council saying, we want this skate park you've been talking about for 2 years. 20 kids got up. It was the most adorable thing I ever saw. Well, when we got up and did our presentation, they unanimously approved to move forward with us for the investment grade audit. And at the end, the mayor goes, can you throw in a skate park? And I said, yes, we can, if there's funding to do it. State law allows you to put in non-self-funding items into the program. Hence the generators. Although there could be some financial gains there because of the load shedding, but items like that we can help with. So this is an example one thing investment grade audit does is it gives you guys a definitive answer. Yes, we can guarantee this.
So let me go back to the project cost, 5.5. This is stuff we're gonna, guys, Charles and everybody, this is stuff we're gonna be doing anyway, correct?
Well, Port Isabel, yeah, we're already going through the funding application. I mean, we have, what, the X amount of dollars in the bank plus the shortage, and we're gonna get through the state loan.
And then these guys are gonna ensure that we have these benefits as far as the savings, correct?
That's our job.
Okay.
That's our job. Some contractors will come in, well, most come in to do a job and they leave. We can't do that. We have to make sure you're operationally and financially sound. The legislation is very cut and dry, and that's why I actually moved to Texas 9 years ago, because it was just that cut and dry.
Okay, so on these projects that we're gonna be spending 5.5 million on, you guys are gonna be in charge of as far as getting it done.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
It's a collaborative effort, it's not us coming in.
I know, right.
Project management and so forth.
You'll be project managing it.
Yeah, part of the process is if you guys are fortunate enough to get this approved this evening, we're gonna come in and work with your team, and we're gonna say what works best for you. We're gonna look at different metering manufacturers, different AMI technologies, because we're product agnostic. We're not incentivized to push something in your direction. We wanna see what's best for you and for us for the project. So it's a collaborative process. Another chart, I'm sure you've seen, but this is, if I had to show you one, this is what I wanna show you. We want to deploy 20-year technology in here, water meters, that's the core project, and we want to make it so the annual cost is less than the annual benefit on an annual basis, every year. We already talked about the scope of work and what we're looking at doing. The benefits, I mean, there's a lot. We can help out with things that aren't able to be budgeted this year, as was discussed. 2 items before us, energy savings, having the real-time analytics both with your buildings and your utility, and then there's also the PR aspect of it. You know, we can look at doing the Energy Star points and labeling of your buildings. Anything you guys want to do, you guys will be in the category of smart cities when you do this. So there's a lot of
Now, I understand that, we can also just do meters, right?
You can just do the meters as well, most definitely. We'll look at everything with the investment grade audit. And what we do is we come out here and we just lay it all out for you and say, here's what you have. What works best for you? What's most important to you right now? It may all make sense to do it all to self-fund, but maybe you guys don't want to do it all. Maybe you just want to focus right over here on the meters and the AMI, the real-time analytics. So the IGA, the investment grade audit, doesn't commit you.
Doesn't commit us to anything.
To anything. It commits you to doing a project that's self-funded, but we work together to determine what that project would be.
San Juana, have you seen anything like this at PUB when you were there?
No, basically they will try to do the financing, their own financing or the grants. That's what they will try to do. And basically, my recommendation is just to wait for the next budget, and the reason is because we already have so many projects, and even we already know that we have a capital improvement plan for the next 5 years, and on some of them we're in an advanced basis, and the projects that he will need to start working on, it will be like new projects where it's gonna be them working with the contractors and all of that. So I'd rather to kind of like finish some of the projects that we have, because right now we have so many open projects, and that's not good.
Okay.
I would like to wait.
Okay. But would it hurt to do this investment grade audit? Because we're not
Once
committing to anything.
Right. Once that they do kind of like the evaluation and without committing to anything else, that would be like the first baby step on it.
Gotcha. Anything else?
That's it. I mean, we're an accredited energy services company, and we're also on the Department of Energy's performance contracting list, a small list of companies. So, you know, we're recognized as being great at what we do. So, and that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments, gentlemen? So we have this on the item, we have this on the agenda for consider and approval. we get a motion, please?
Approve it.
To improve the investment grade audit? Item 13.
Honestly, this was out of my thought process.
Mr. Govan, what is staff? I heard from San Juana already, she wants to wait. No? Is that what you said, San Juana?
Move the table to workshop.
Okay.
That's under a form of a motion, sir.
So we have a motion to table this item?
Yeah, we need more info.
Second by Mr. Friedman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14, consider and approve 24/7 technical phone support service contract and purchase of 32 membrane modules with PAL advanced separation systems for water plant 2 microfiltration. That's a lot of words.
Well, there are two items that sort of, one was on the agenda for the 9th, and then the second component to this came up for this current meeting. And so the first one is about the phone support, where we always have full system engineers on hand as needed should emergency arise at water plant 2, where we can just pick up the phone and call. So to kind of have that first priority and a 24/7 basis, in our case, since we have 4 racks, I mean, the annual fee for having that in place is $5,200. So that's one item.
Joe,
Yes.
I'm brain dead on this one. We're talking about the 32, those are the tubes in the microfiltration plant, am I correct? What are the
Yes.
modules?
Yes, yeah, I haven't even gotten to that one yet. There's kind of 2 proposals that are attached, one's sitting in front of the
I
other.
know you're talking about the phones, but
Yeah, I mean, if we want to jump over to the modules, which is
Let's
Or
see if
do
there's
you
any
want
more questions along with the phones, and let's finish that up, and then we'll move on to the other part. Any questions on that phone?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think it'd be good to have that support on hand as needed for operations.
Okay, I agree.
I'm hungry.
All right, me too.
All right.
All right, now let's jump to the membrane with PAL.
Yes, the second part with Paul.
Yes, sir.
I got a call, because you know how we had talked about the idea of adding the membrane modules?
Correct.
And so, basically, they had returned my call, because we just haven't really been able to sit down and talk numbers. And so, right now, they have an overstock this month on modules, and so they're offering us to complete those 32 modules for $56,000, which is about 50% of the regular cost, and that would basically bring us up to 8 MGD.
That's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
If we go ahead and proceed with that.
So these are just replacement modules?
That's something that was in the...
No,
Not
these
just,
are,
we're gonna add 2?
this is gonna add capacity to the plant. So right now, we have 8 empty spaces in our racks. Like, we built the racks, and there's 8 spaces where all we need to do is buy the module, install it, and then we have more water to back.
Correct. I know we built the plant, and then we left empty space so we can increase production down the road. And now they're offering us, it sounds like they're offering us 50% off on the membranes now,
Right.
if we want them.
Right.
I believe we have till the 31st?
Yeah, I mean,
Do we need 'em?
based on the action today, if it's
What,
approved.
and their price is gonna go up if we don't buy them right now? We got a deal for you, walk right in the door, buddy. Is that what I'm getting here?
Yeah, well, right now, basically, yeah, I mean, he said the number price we would pay for this number, for 32 membranes, would be more in the range of 110,000. And so right now, we're buying them, if we go with this, for 56.
How long does a membrane work?
Oh, 10 years.
Okay, the plant's been in operation, what, 2 now?
Right. Well, this is
Okay.
gonna increase,
Don't what we have right now, I thought we could go up to close to 7 million gallons a day.
well, yeah, what we have right now is 7 million gallons a day.
Okay.
So these membranes would put us at 8 million gallons.
What these modules will do is, be like spare, like being utilized, but there'll be extra modules that, you know, if something goes wrong with one of them, which it happened twice already.
Just during the summertime, critical capacity.
That's
You
what
can
I'm wondering, I'm
isolate
gonna be asking that
and
question.
still produce the quantity that.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to get. We don't have to put them into production at this time. No?
Well, no,
Yes?
we're not, of course, we don't have to be running that plant over 7 MGD. This is just, assurance to have an 8 MGD plant versus 7.
When you're running at full capacity for those few peak times, that's...
All right, so let's figure out the capacity right now. This current water treatment plant number 2 is at about 7 million. You can buy 7 million, no problem, right? Okay. What about water plant number 1? What can you do right now with that? About 3 million más o menos. All right, so that's at 10 million gallons between the both. All right, so So, what are we anticipating for the next couple of years as far as our usage? For our million gallons per day, what are we gonna need? I don't think I've ever seen us go over 7, I don't think I've ever seen us go over 7, maybe 8.
I think it was like
We never
7.5.
went over 7, did we?
More than,
but,
the water quality at water plant 2 is,
They're trying to utilize the whole water treatment plant for conservation, electricity. If we can maintain.
I think the old plant's putting out better water than the new one.
No, it's not. Mr.
That
Lopez,
was
yes,
a
sir.
joke.
For the water plant 1, or water plant 2, with membrane and whatnot, we shut down water plant 1, and that's needed energy, manpower, and whatnot. I think,
But we keep pouring money into water plant 1.
gotta maintain functional, because if something happens over there.
If something happens over there.
You have to have 2.
Yeah, I know we gotta have 2. I mean, one time we almost considered shutting that one down, and Scott and I, we didn't wanna do
It was a good
that.
idea to shut
I know,
it
we
down.
didn't wanna do that. I mean,
We've
what do
been
you-
planning to purchase these, modules, like, planning for the future. We've been talking about it, like, hey, we need to purchase, how are we gonna do it? How are we gonna do the purchase,
All right,
between now and maybe 2-3 years?
Okay, so now the $1 million question. Is it in the budget?
Well, it's part of the amended budget that got approved today. It was, well, no, I take that back.
No,
It's-
that's
because the
part of the
capital's different.
previous,
That's on the
yeah,
capital side, please.
but,
SDC
that's
funding.
something that you can put within the WSDCs, right?
Well, yeah, I was gonna put it on the water infrastructure.
You were gonna put it on the water SDC?
Yeah.
Yeah. water
What
infrastructure.
happened is that with the water infrastructure, he does have a budget for 5 years, so he can kinda like move it around. So, but I keep on telling him, as long as everything is approved by the board, we can, process those
Okay,
changes.
so if you want this now, and we buy this now, later on, you can't get those other toys you want, right?
Exactly.
That's the way, that's kinda the way it works, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it goes by priority, at least that's the
Right.
best approach that we're trying to
See,
make
but,
here.
Mike, in the past, we've had issues, our Isla Blanca plant, Isla Blanca Andy Bowie plant's got, we overdid it with them, we capacitied them, and they're running at 20 and 30% of their capacity, and so I don't wanna see that happen on the water treatment side
Well,
also.
remember what you mentioned, we really try to be conservative, so if we don't really need it right now, I think that there are some other projects that we may need it, and give it, a bigger
Those were the
priority.
go-go days.
Run the
Yeah,
numbers,
that's what I
Carol,
think.
that's half a
That's what I
generator.
think.
You're right, that's half a
That's half a generator,
generator.
you're telling me we need those.
Your Holiness.
Yes, sir, Your Eminence.
Run the numbers by again. They want it. How much do they want for these,
Well, the full proposal.
32 membranes?
For the modules, it's 56,000, and then there's associated hardware that's tied to it, which is another 9,400. And then the service for the field engineer to come down and maintain warranty and get all the installation done.
Okay,
another
just stop there.
12,000.
Okay, now if we don't buy the modules now, how much are just the modules gonna cost?
Well, the modules alone are 56,000, and then, but there's.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, we're talking about a $78,000 request.
If
at the end of
we
the day.
buy the modules next year, what will the modules cost?
Oh, I mean, I would think
We
right
don't
now,
know.
about 105,000.
Okay.
Till they have the
We
sale.
don't have to at this
Till they have
time. Why-
Going out of business.
You have the floor, Commander.
Mr. Thomas, the Eminence has the floor.
We don't have to, I'm talking about holding some spare modules. We don't, if we do have one go damaged or something like that, do we have any spares at this time?
No, these are empty slots that we'd be filling in. So I mean, we wanna use them, we don't wanna let them sit dry.
We don't have to put them into service immediately, do we?
No.
No, that's the question. That was the answer I was looking for.
Will they go
Okay,
bad
but-
sitting
So
around?
they're literally, I've still got the floor, excuse me.
Alright,
I'll rescind the floor, you guys ask the questions. I'll
Now,
talk
I
to
understand
Charles
what you're
tomorrow.
saying. I mean, we can keep them, we can keep them on the shelf, like, boxed up, basically.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have filters and RO systems. And when I go out and buy my little filters, I get extra filters, and I leave them under the sink, so that when the other ones get bad, I don't have to go to the store again. Same deal. They're basically filters, guys. Okay. We don't have to put them into use. do they have a shelf life?
10 years.
Oh, I don't
10
know.
years in use,
Use,
Carlos,
use.
in use.
I'll confirm. I mean, I would think a shelf life for something that's not.
What I'm trying to get at,
used
if we can save 40 grand by buying them, we do not have to put them into service now to where they start getting the wear and tear on them. I don't have a problem at all with that. But at 7 million gallons a day, where's our water lady to tell us what our highest consumption was all of last year on a one-day basis?
Now, we can.
I'll bet it wasn't close to 7 million gallons a day.
It was 6
Anybody
something.
got a clue?
Pretty close.
It was 6 something, Whitey.
There, but we always maintain the, one to two, what we did, so you're.
Right,
Yeah,
so
so
we
it's
got
gonna
enough
be
backup
million.
there. We can produce 10 million gallons a day out of the plants we've got. I just don't see why we have to put it into service right now. It'd be like getting underneath my sink and adding 4 more filters just because I had 4 more cartridges. That make any sense to you guys? Thank you.
All right.
I rescind the floor, sweetheart.
Thank you, sir. All right, so, let me ask this question. Let's say you have those, you put those 32 in line, right? Okay. Those don't have to be used right away, right? How are I mean, these membranes, do you have sections that you can turn on and off, and you can run through this section, this day and that section one day?
We have 4 racks, you can shut down any rack you want, use racks, but you don't wanna have them just sitting there. Once
Right.
they're installed, you don't wanna have them.
You gotta use them.
Procedure to.
You gotta use them on a,
You want them to run it even, so they all maintain the same level of hours of use or,
okay, all right, that was my question.
Once you put them
Okay.
into service, you have to keep them working.
All right,
How else can we keep them on the shelf till we need them? That was my question.
okay,
And the answer was yes.
all right, gotcha.
Looks like it adds up to 2/3 of a generator to me. That they've just said we badly need.
Yeah, and again, this is
That's
just
my
a
question.
Well,
proactive.
it's different monies, that's the thing that.
It's different money, this
That was mine,
is
okay.
water, and then that's sewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
It's-
sewer generators.
The other ones are operating and maintenance expenses, and this is capital. So infrastructure, the only way, good, thing, that we can do it through the construction in progress. So we still have to capitalize it, but it's not gonna be in service. So, but it's still, we can get it from infrastructure, but not operating.
Okay, so we could just buy these membranes and put them on this, like Whitey said, put them on the shelf until,
Let me confirm the shelf life,
All
because
right.
we don't wanna be buying something if it's not gonna have a long
All right.
shelf life to it.
If they went back to 2 years, it'd be
all right, so,
screwed.
but in the meantime, the telephone thing is the 24/7, we need that, correct?
Yeah, I think it's good to have.
And that's $5,200?
Yeah, 5,200.
$5,200 for that part.
Yeah, but keep in mind that they told you till the 31st, remember that?
Oh,
Wasn't it
for
the-
the module?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're just being proactive, I just,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
surprised it was,
Which is good.
I was expecting to see a higher price than what we got, that's why.
And, to be until the next Walmart sale, next year.
Yeah, that's fine.
Blue Mart, Kmart,
Kmart.
Blue Lights.
Blue
Special.
lights.
Blue lights.
Special.
All right, so you guys wanna do let's do a motion to consider and approve the 24/7 technical phone support service contract and not the purchase of the 32 membranes at this time. Should we go that route? Can we do that?
Someone can say so moved.
So move.
There you go.
Got a motion.
So we're not gonna buy the modules? I wanna buy the modules.
Until we see what the shelf life is.
Yeah, let me check shelf life.
Okay.
Cause I think with the RO, the shelf life's only a year, and I need to see what these will do.
Okay.
That don't make any sense to me.
All right, so we got a motion on the floor just for the 5,200.
For
We get a second,
24/7
please?
support.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That was enjoyable, gentlemen. Let's move on to item 15, consider and ratify repairs to transfer a well motor at water plant number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Thomas and a second by Mr. Wells. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, discuss and approve resolution number 134-03-16 by the Board of Directors of the Laguna Madre Water District requesting designation as a management agency for wastewater and, wastewater collection and treatment within its district boundaries. Charles, what is this?
This is a requirement for
Blah,
Texas
blah,
Water
blah.
Development Board. To apply for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, this is one of the resolutions that has to be in there.
Okay.
So moved.
So, all right.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 17, consider and approve disbursements. Questions, comments? Anybody wanna pull one of those out? You wanna make a motion to approve those, please?
I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Cantu, second by Mr. Friedman. Any questions on any of the disbursements?
I didn't even look through them this week.
All right, good.
I didn't see nothing.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, executive session permitted by the Open Meeting Act, VTCA, Government Code, Section 551.01, under Section 551.071, consultation with the attorney, Section 551.072, deliberation about real property, discussion of possible action on settlement of easement amendment on the Garcia Dougherty tract. Could I have a motion to go into executive session at 7:14, please?
I'll make it real quick too, so everybody's.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by
Great
Mr.
job.
Friedman and a second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We are in executive session for like a minute. Motion to come out of executive session at 7:25. Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Let's move on to item 19, is consideration and action on executive session items if necessary. Can we get a motion to,
Motion made to continue, negotiations that were discussed in executive session,
Within the parameters
within parameters.
very good.
given to council.
Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Be it that there's no further business of the Logan Water District, this meeting is adjourned. Item 20.